Hey guys, so if you run a hair business and you are looking to grow but simply feel stuck and don't know how to, not bring in consistent sales or at the point that you want to be at, this video is for you. I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to grow and scale your hair business and give you proven steps and examples from bigger hair companies that I've worked with on how to do this. So a bit about me, because you're probably thinking, who on earth is this person and why should I watch the video? Well, my name is Luella and I run a advertising and creatives agency basically specializing in working with hair and beauty brands, helping them grow and scale with their marketing. So grab a hot drink or any drink of choice and let's get straight into the video. You're going to want to stay until the end because there are going to be some great examples that you can use and implement. So guys, I'm going to grab my laptop actually, because even though I had my points, I thought to make this video as valuable as possible, let me do more in-depth research and also put up a few points that, like I said, you guys can have actionable takeaways and actually, rather than every other video that you watch and you're like, okay, these are kind of the same points, you can actually have actionable points you can put to use today to help grow your business. So let me grab that. Also, I've got my little hard drive thing on my computer in case you're thinking, what on earth is that? But step one.
Excuse me, what's your name?
Can I get my grown man on for 1 second? I see some ladies tonight that should be hanging with Jason.
Most hair businesses think they're just selling hair, but really you got to think of it, you're selling a transformation, you're selling confidence, you're selling convenience. So if your brand positioning sounds like we sell high quality wigs, you're blending in honestly every other business, and I've spoke to a lot of business owners. A lot of businesses are saying the same thing, but what actually makes you different? Who are you talking to, Is it busy moms? Is it corporate baddies? Or is it someone with alopecia who needs, trust and discretion to build their confidence? Know your target customer and speak directly to them, because when you understand that, you'll understand that positioning changes everything. Once you know who you're talking to, your content, your ads, your captions, everything is much, much, much easier. Now, quick side note as well, because I'm going to assume that anybody who's watching this video, because at the end of the day, you are business owners, so I know you are action takers anyway, but rather than being a passive watcher, because I know even with myself, I can be a passive watcher, not an action taker. But I thought it'd be useful, like I said earlier, that rather than just tell you how to improve and say, okay, this is what you could do, but actually give you examples that you can go out yourself and research and actionable steps that you can implement yourself. So when I say this though, I don't mean copy. I mean take inspiration and apply to your own business. Do not copy. A great example of a business that does this really, really well is The Do. So one is that their brand personality is clear and confident. Two is that they have a nostalgia-based positioning, and I'm going to break all of these down. They have a problem-solving focus, and four is that they have distinct visuals and shelf appeal. Their brand is bold and fun and unapologetic, and that comes through in every single touch point of the business, whether it's on their website, their ads, their, social media content, or their brand packaging. It's very clear. Now, their tone is cheeky and confident and appeals to their target customer because they understand who that is, and that's why you need to get clear on who that person is. For example, for them, a style-savvy, confident Black woman who wants results and personality. Now, with their nostalgia-based positioning, they lean heavily, I'm going to insert a video here, but they lean very heavily into the 90s hip-hop culture. Product names to design to music, messaging, everything. And that evokes a sense of identity, familiarity, and belonging for their audience. Now, like I said, they also have a problem-solving focus. Every product addresses a certain specific issue. You know, their content and packaging make it super clear who the product is for and what exactly it solves, whether it be frizz, shrinkage, lack of moisture, while making it fun and appealing. So yeah. And lastly, they have this, like I said, distinct visuals and shelf appeal. Now, again, this is slightly different. You might not have an in-person product that's going to be sold in the store, but nonetheless, you can spot their products from a mile away. Their neon pop art labels and quirky fonts make them very, very memorable. Now, going on to strategy 2.
There's something about this girl and from around my way.
Which is building a strong organic foundation. Before you even think of ads, and this is coming from someone who does that. Before you even think of ads, you need to ask yourself, is my organic presence doing its job? You don't need to go viral, but what you do need is transformation videos, install videos, customer reactions, tutorials, and lifestyle content showing your customers' world. It seems very, very simple when I put it like that, but you would, like I said, I get on a lot of meetings with new hair business owners, and when I look over their organic content and all I'm seeing is, you know, yes, bundles on the rack videos are great and I know they work really well, but bundles on the rack video, you're just showing the hair, the founder is just showing the hair. Okay, that is great. I can see the quality, but I want to see people who are your target customer and who say are your target customer wearing the hair, whether it be UGC videos or, like I said, transformation videos. This is what the hair looked like before. This is what it looks like after. This is what I can expect when I wear it. And then also installation videos. These work really, 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 really well. I'm not going to go into all of these too much, but yeah, from like if it's a sew-in and you're selling extensions, from showing the afro hair before, if we're targeting black women, plaiting that up, sewing in the extensions, straightening the hair, show me it all. I know I like to watch these. And I know customers like to watch these before they buy. Anyway, I'm sure you get the hint. For example, when I worked with Rucker Hair, they did not rely only on professional, polished studio content. They used real women showing real installs, but they had, them talk directly to the camera about the transformation and confidence their hair gave them. And I think this is so, so important, especially for black women or women in general. I think your hair is such a big thing and you need to really hone down that on your marketing. What confidence do you give women when they wear your hair? What transformation do you give them? Tell that story, because it is a big thing. Not only that, it builds connection, but it also converts, especially in the hair industry. People want to see it before they believe it. And you've got to remember, hair trends, I can't speak today. Hair trends change, the algorithm will change, things are going to shift, but your brand awareness, your customer relationships, and your community is what keeps you booked and busy, even when ads are not working and they're not, conversing. Build that community, build that organic foundation. Now, strategy 3 is that you need to make your website convert. Too many hair brands are leaving so much money on the table because their website is not built to convert. And guys, it hurts my head. It really does. It really, really, really does. How I got a deeper understanding of this and how important your website is, it was through my dad. Now, he is a UX UI designer, which basically stands for user experience, user interface. And I basically through his meetings, and what he would just tell me is that, you know, when you're building a website, you want to not just make it look good, but make sure it's driving people towards a certain action. Now, growing up around that, I kind of learned some certain things, like for example, how your layout affects someone's decision to buy, how slow load times can like cost you sales, and even small tweaks like moving your add to cart button, or, you know, simplifying your product page can actually double your conversions. And when I tell my clients this, and we've kind of implemented that, whether it be adding things like Klarna or what's the other one, ClearPay, I don't know what they use in the US, I forgot, but simple, especially obviously when people are buying very expensive products, those are very useful. Or having installation videos, or back to back, or videos of what the person's, for example, a UGC video of what the person's hair looked like before and what it looks like after using the extensions, help boost that conversion rate. Because people, when they're buying, they might have that hesitation, oh, do I actually want to spend that much money on hair, or is this product actually going to work for me? Whether it's extensions or products, you want to see side by side, okay, this person has a similar hair texture to me, or has similar hair to me, and this is what their hair looked like, whether it was dry, brittle, and whatever, dry, brittle, and I don't know, whatever, and this is what it looked like after. Those work really, really well. So when I look at a hair brand's business, for example, someone hops on a call with me and we go through, whether it be an audit or something like that, and we go through their website, I don't just look at it from a marketing perspective, but I also am thinking, how does this experience feel for the customer? Is it smooth? Is it clear? Does it make you want to buy from this page in under 10 seconds? Because I know for sure, I've been on websites, and I'm sure you have too, where you click on it and everything's so confusing. It looks horrible. It's taking slow to load, and literally within under 10 seconds, you're like, forget this, and you go to somewhere else. Because I feel like, especially today, nowadays, we all know that, oh, everyone's got short attention spans, whatnot. You know it, I know it. Let's avoid that problem and make it so you don't have that issue. People are going to be staying on your website thinking, oh, this is not only beautiful, but I'm going to purchase from this person, from this business, sorry. Your website is your shop front, and if it's not working, no ad in the world is going to fix it. And trust me, I know that. So ask yourself, go on your website. Again, let's not be passive listeners, but also action takers. Go on your website and ask yourself, is it clear what I sell in the first 5 seconds? Do I have, for example, in the case of hair extensions or wigs, or it's going to be different for hair products, but do I have install videos or customer reviews on my product page? Or in the case of, you know, hair products, if you're selling a serum or a conditioner or whatever, before and afters, anything like that. And is there a sense of urgency to buy now? In summary, after all that yapping, what do they say? TDLR, is that it? Too long, didn't read. Too long, skipped along the video. We'll call it that. You've got to make sure your website is doing the heavy lifting. Ads can drive traffic, or organic can drive traffic, whatever you're using. But if your site isn't converting, it's pretty much money down the drain. So don't waste your money. Invest it into making your website work for you. So really quickly, I'm going to add a few links of a couple hair business websites that you can check out right there and look into. And like I said, take inspiration from, not copy, but look what they're doing well. Kind of have a little bit of research for yourself and see what you can then implement to improve your own website. So I hope that helps. Now, since I touched on ads, we might as well go into ads, you know what I mean? So basically, strategy 4 is going into how to run ads properly. I wanted to touch on this mostly again, like I said, I'm going to do a separate video on those making above, whether it be 30k, 60k, all the way up to 100, because I think that advice is slightly different to those making under 30k. But I think if you are toying with the idea, let's say you're doing, whether it be 10k a month, 20k a month, and you're thinking, okay, let me consider doing ads, and your organic foundation is there, then you're going to want to know how to do it properly. Now, other than booking in a call with me, sort of plug there, I'm going to leave the link below. You're going to want to build out a strategy for ads. Now, I'm only going to touch on this briefly. I'm going to make another video on this actually, but essentially running ads without a strategy is like, I don't know, driving to the other side of the country without a map. Like, you're not going to know what you're doing. You're not going to know where you are going, basically. I think that was a good example. Anyway, so what you need is a funnel. You're going to want to take people down a journey. Basically, you're funneling them through the journey with 3 different types of, whether it be creatives, ads. You can also do this for organic, but that's another story. Anyway, so you have top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Basically, top of funnel, which is at the top, is awareness content. So this might be, in the case of hair, which is what we're talking about, is installation videos, is transformation videos, and also like influencer reactions or UGC reactions. These work well in, like I said, creating brand awareness and letting people know who you are. Also founder videos, actually explaining why you started the business, helping people get an idea of, like I said, who you are really. And then we have middle of funnel. So these are problem solving videos. For example, the best hair for busy women, for example, with a client I used to work with, actually Silk and Supply, she was because she was a textured hair business for Black women or women of color, or should I say people with textured hair. It was, if your hair isn't blending with, if your bundles aren't blending with your hair, which that was a lot of hair on the market. It was Vietnamese hair or, I don't know, Cambodian hair or what not, but it was very straight and silky, and obviously that's not representative of a lot of women of color. So what she built was basically a hair business specializing in textured hair extensions. So within her marketing, it was very important to hone down on the problem she is solving, which is bringing textured hair into light. So bottom of funnel content would be things like testimonials, offers, UGC, reviews, things that really make people want to really buy. Like I said, so you've taken them through that funnel, they know who you are, you've built that connection, you've built that trust. Then that type of content is the content that's saying, this is why you should buy from us, and really honing down that message. So one of my clients, Hair Virginity, went from 60k a month before we started when we first started working together, to well over 100k months. And how we kind of done that is, when I started working with her, actually, she was running ads already and she had a really good, organic foundation, but actually making sure that we had a strategy there, and also opening up those platforms that she was advertising on, and really honing down on great creatives, not only for top of funnel, but for middle of funnel and bottom of funnel. And, basically mapping out that strategy really helped her go from, like I said, 60k to well over 100k months. And no, you don't need a huge budget. You need consistency, and you need great creatives and a great audience. I'm going to emphasize great creatives. So make sure your creatives are good. Now we have strategy 5, which I think is an underrated one, but is a key one, and that is focusing on retention. So the first sale is just the beginning. It's just the first step. Now, if someone's bought from you once, they should buy again, but that's only going to happen if you stay top of mind. So, are you sending emails? Do you have a welcome series? Have you got, an abandoned cart flow, post-purchase education? Are you rewarding loyalty? Why should people buy from you again? Even though I don't do emails and I don't know too much about emails, I do know, for example, when I'm working with clients, I do like to know, you know, what are they doing in other areas and how is that helping them grow. And I know one of my clients, she had someone doing her emails. They started sending people emails with like restocks and styling tips and basically just valuable information and tips. And this increased their repeat customer rate by, I don't know the exact percentage actually, but I know it definitely helped because, again, I'm sure you can see it on like Shopify. It helped increase basically repeat customers by a significant amount, if I can remember. Anyway, action step for this one would be go and have a look at all the business, not all the businesses, but let's say the top 3 businesses. Pick top 3 businesses that you really like, that you're subscribed to on emails, and look at their email flows and look at, actually, you know what, quick story time about this. I remember I was at an event ages ago. This was a marketing event, and there was this guy speaking. This woman came up, you know, when they stand up in the crowd and they ask a question, and she was like, you know what, she hasn't got a lot of repeat buyers, but she doesn't want to annoy her customers with like loads of emails or loads of like ads, or basically she doesn't want to annoy her customers. And this guy basically essentially said something along the lines that if you look at really big companies like McDonald's or Nike or, I don't know, ASOS, I'm trying to think of basically really, really massive companies, they are marketing to you all the time. I drove to my friend's house the other day, and literally that was a 20-minute journey. Within the first 2 minutes, I saw a billboard of McDonald's and you know, when they're on like the bus shelters or whatever you call them. And I was like, okay, you know, they're remarketing to people who buy their product. I'm trying to explain this in a good way. However, you kind of get what I mean. You'll then go into your emails if I'm not subscribed to McDonald's, but if you're subscribed to McDonald's, they are constantly emailing you, this is what's on offer, this is what new product we have coming out, or this new burger coming out or whatnot. Then you go, if you have, I don't know, but I know with like the Uber Eats app, before I deleted it and decided I'm not doing takeouts as much as I used to do, even though it wasn't even a lot. Anyway, when I had the Uber Eats app, and I'm sure it's probably the same with McDonald's, they're notifying you all the time. Oh, come back on the app. Oh, this is happening. Oh, we have this sale. We have this happening. All this happening. They're posting every day. They're putting out content on all platforms. They're doing their emails. They're doing their, you know, email flows. They've got their input, their real life billboards and things like this. They've got their TV adverts. They're sponsored by all these different companies and influencers and whatnot. And you think that you're bothering your customers by doing a couple, you know, extra emails a month or couple extra ads a month. Honestly, when you think of it in the grand scheme of things, like, not in a bad way, but you're not doing enough. You need to be top of mind. And if all these massive companies are pushing marketing all the time, if you want to sell and you want to grow your business, you need to do the same. Of course, you need to add value, but you need to put yourself out there, and people don't know who you are, and of course they're not going to buy from you if your competitor is shouting about what they're going to do. Anyway, before I ramble on, you get the point. So, my beautiful people, firstly, thanks for watching, and I hope you found the video super useful. So, my beautiful people, let's do a quick recap. Essentially, to grow your hair business, you need a clear product positioning, consistent content, consistent is key, a high converting website, a smart ad strategy, and a way or system to keep customers coming back. Now, if you found this helpful and want more tips and tricks on how to actually grow your hair business or your business, I'm going to be hopefully making videos like this frequently. You can let me know in the comments either what you liked about the video or what you want me to make a video on next. And also, like I said, I help businesses, hair and beauty businesses, do this every single day. That's why I can make these videos and give you this advice. So if you either want an audit of what you're doing well and what you could improve on, or you actually want that help to grow your business, let me know, because you can either drop me an email or you can book in a meeting, whatever. Anyway, hit that subscribe button, and hopefully you like the video and you can give it a like too. And yeah, like I said, let me know what type of content you want next. And lastly, I hope once you implement these steps, or even if you implement a couple of them, that your business will grow. What's the word? Flourishously, I think. Anyway, yes, I'm sure it will. Like I said, you're an action taker anyway. And small little tweaks here and there will help grow the business. Anyway, I will catch you soon. Lots of love.